So here we are, Google Earth. We're looking at the northeast. Okay, here's the Adirondacks where I grew up. And where I'm heading is, in this area of Pennsylvania, but we have to start where I'm currently living, which is Orange County, New York, in an area called Deer Park. And that is literally just a few miles from the point right here, this point right here on 84. This is Interstate 84. And right here where it just crosses, there's a cemetery in Port Jervis that goes to the water where people go swimming. And there's a sign. Jersey's here, New York is here, Pennsylvania's here. And this is the point where the three states meet. That's where I currently live, and right up in here in Huguenot. So the goal is to go to a point on the map and see what's there. It's basically an exploration. The starting point was here, but the first goal was to get to North Bend, Pennsylvania, which then trekked up into the mountains. This was from there to here was 3.5 hours. Boring, yada, 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 not too exciting. So here, in order to show you the road that I selected through here, you have to have the road sign selected here on Google Earth. Otherwise, you can't see it. And from the map, again, it's, this is the uniqueness of Pennsylvania. This is marked as a road, as an accessible road. And sure, it's in white, so I'm sure if I look at the legend here, and it probably will explain the difference between the colors. But as you can see, this is a paved road here, and that Fork Hill Road. And then this comes off, and from every, it looks like it would be just a regular route, although these give you a clear sign that something's not right about this road. Okay, and then it gets where you can see the terrain with 3D turned on Google Earth. You can see the terrain. So now you're on top of the mountain for quite a few miles. There's some logging, some of these side roads I explored. And then again, this tells you a little bit about what you're getting yourself into, but you're still not sure. So here, now, I'm saying to myself before I go, well, I'm going to spend 3.5 hours to climb Mount Everest. What if I don't get to climb Mount Everest? Well, let's see what happened. So today, the adventure of the day is Susquehannock State Forest, about 3.5 hours away. It's directly west of here and north of the Susquehanna River. So it's sort of in the, the northern central part of Pennsylvania. The Susquehannock State Forest derives its name from the Susquehannock Indian tribe, which at one time inhabited practically most of the Pennsylvania wilds. The 265,000-acre state forest offers some of the best opportunities for both experienced and inexperienced hikers to enjoy Pennsylvania's scenic woodlands. This area is known as God's Country. In fact, on PA Route 44, a sign clearly states, "This is God's country." So I made it to my initial first goal, which is North Bend on 120, right along the Susquehanna. Now, there's a road that goes directly north from here, and it cuts through the mountain, which is much bigger than I expected. These mountain, quite awesome actually. So there's the one main road that goes up, but then there's one that cuts off, and it's not clearly marked whether it is a ATV trail or just like an off-road. But by the looks of the mountain, I would almost bet it's a hiking trail or an ATV trail, and I probably won't be able to access. it. So we'll check it out. Susquehannock State Forest was formed as a direct result of the depletion of the forests of Pennsylvania that took place during the mid to late 19th century. Lumber and iron companies had harvested the old growth forests for various reasons. They clear-cut the forests and left behind nothing but dried treetops and rotting stumps. The situation got worse due to sparks from passing steam locomotives that ignited wildfires that prevented the formation of second growth forests. So that's where I came from. This is the road that I intended. As you can see, there is no forgiveness and there's no turning around. So if I come to any obstacles up there, then I gotta back down. But this is kind of the adventure I was looking for. This is really cool. The conservationists feared that the forest would never regrow if there was not a change in the philosophy of forest management. The American leaders across many states began calling on their state to purchase land from the lumber and iron companies. Back in the day in Pennsylvania, the lumber and iron companies were more than willing to sell their land, since they had depleted the natural resources of the forests. More commercially valuable iron mines were providing ores, and selling the lands eliminated the annual need to pay property taxes. These demands of this movement were later recognized by sociologists and historians as one earmark of the progressive era in United States politics and social reorganization. Yeah, definitely not recommended going routes of this nature that are unexplored and all alone. But caution is my friend, and it's not like I haven't done stuff like this before. Just here's a good turnaround spot in the event that I'm in a jam up the ways. I can back down here and turn around, so good. At least I know that, but we're gonna try to trek forward. Very, very satisfying so far in terms of what my intentions were to follow this road. Not sure of what it is, but so far I found quite a few spots that I wouldn't have to back up too much to turn around, because right in the beginning going up that mountain, that was touchy. But these are little areas where I'm sure the locals come and hang out. I haven't seen any traces of people coming here, but With this channel, I plan on doing a bushcrafter / overlander / cooking thing. So looking for spots like this to basically pull over, set up a quick day camp, cook a meal, go home. And yeah, so this is, Pennsylvania is where it's at, man. These mountains are quite impressive. This quite a ways west of the Poconos, but this range that I'm on top right now of this range, and it's quite impressive.
The changes began to take place in 1895 when Dr. Rothrock was appointed the first commissioner of the Pennsylvania Department of Forests and Waters, the forerunner of today's Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. The Pennsylvania General Assembly passed a piece of legislation in 1897 that authorized the purchase of unceded lands for forest reservations. This was the beginning of the state forest system.
Nice and quiet. Love it. On top of the mountain for quite a ways. So this follows basically the top of the mountain this far. So eventually there's going to be a spot where I'm starting to come down. So quiet.
Hiking is available on many trails in the Susquehannock State Forest, though the main trail is the Susquehannock Trail System, an 85-mile loop through the forest hills and valleys of the region. It was created by joining together a number of old and new foot trails, logging roads, and abandoned railroad grades. The trail originates at the district office along Route 6 in Potter County and extends south into Clinton County. The route is well marked with rectangular orange blazes and is mostly comfortable walking with a few steep grades.
See, if you look on here, that's where I am. This is the road I'm following. See, it does this little hook, then it comes back out onto this main road, main road-ish. That's where I came from. Look at this view. I know the phone just can't catch the true depth. But it's really, really spectacular. got to go back up the mountain to get to Route 44. So the saying, ain't out of the woods yet, well, it's literal. Because I ain't out of the woods yet, man. Well, I did it. During the summer months, a 43-mile ATV trail is available within Susquehannock State Forest. Mountain biking is permitted on state forest roads, timber sale roads, and a trail that originates at the district office. Horses are allowed on all the state forest roads, timber sale roads, and roads along pipelines. But there are no trails designated strictly for horseback riding. So this trip is in the books. I'm back on heading towards 80 to head back east. So the roads are kind of like they are what they are. So no sense in even filming from this point. But it was interesting driving almost 4 hours to crawl up a mountain pass the way I did, not knowing anything about it. It was kind of exhilarating at points. It was really cool. So anyway, the trip to the Susquehannock National or State Forest is in the books. Thanks for taking the ride with me. See you next time.